You're watching Soulful Discussions.
All right, so hi, how are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing great. How did you and I meet today?
Walking at the mall.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And very coincidentally, like both of our names match. We're actually the same name.
Spelling, yeah.
Absolutely crazy. Let me ask you this: what did I approach you about? What are we doing?
Your YouTube channel, mental health, being comfortable with yourself.
Okay, absolutely. So we're going to talk to you today about how you feel about the subject of feet, mental health, reflexology. Okay. Let me ask you this: you hear the word feet, first thing you think about. What do you think about first?
Feet. Painting my toenails.
Okay.
So I do like it, have cute designs on them and everything.
Okay, that's really dope. We're gonna ask you a few questions about your thoughts about feet. Just feel free to answer however you like. Okay. What about mental health? You hear that? What do you think about it?
Mental health, very important.
Okay.
Definitely a priority these days.
Yeah.
A couple years back, it was rough. So I'm still kind of going through it now.
Absolutely. We're gonna talk a little bit about dealing with like stress, anxiety, like those things. Like, what are some like coping mechanisms, things you can do to like help out? Anything you might have information on, feel free to share it, and I'll tell you some things that I have that I've learned since I started my journey. Okay.
Okay.
And then,
yeah.
oh,
no, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
And then reflexology. You familiar with that?
No, not too much. Kind of give me a little rundown.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm actually going to give you the rundown. So our whole interview will kind of go step by step. You'll see how it's going. And then when we get to that point, I'll give you the information. You just tell me what you think about it. Okay? All right, cool. Let's start with the first question. What is something you think we can do to like improve mental health awareness throughout the world? What's something you think we can do?
Definitely bring awareness on social media.
Okay.
I feel like everyone is on social media these days. TikTok, Instagram. That's how I get aware of all my stuff.
Yeah.
I know it is a very toxic space.
Yep.
To mental health as well, but I feel like it can also be used in a positive way.
Yes.
So kind of leaning toward that as well.
Absolutely. In terms of the next question, fill in the blank on this question, okay? The world would be better if?
If everyone had a positive attitude.
Okay.
I feel like there's so much negativity these days, and it's very toxic. It's very easy to see.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I feel like it's very hard to find nowadays.
Just like focusing on a little bit more positivity. Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
In terms of like if you have a friend or a loved one who is like dealing with like stress, anxiety, depression, anything like that, is there anything that you would say or do with them to like help them get through that time?
Yeah, definitely talk. I know people cope differently.
Yeah.
But I feel like with my friends, it's like, hey, you want to go on a drive?
Nice.
Just to kind of free your mind, just kind of get it out.
Nice.
I feel like all of my friends, we tend to keep things in. And it was kind of like a trend where all of us kind of figured out that we need to talk to each other.
Yeah.
Get it out. So I think just freeing our mind. Going on drives definitely helped. Going to the gym.
That's really dope, man.
Yeah.
So I was speaking with a lady on Sunday. She said something to me, and I thought that this was. I was like, I'm gonna steal that. I definitely thought it was a good idea. But she said like she has a group of friends, like really close knit, and she's like one of the things they do is they have like almost like a code that they do. So they send an emoji, and when they send that emoji, that means like I'm not feeling the best. Like it's like I need some like help. I need somebody to come be with me for a little while. Whatever like that, and I thought that was dope. I was like, that's amazing. So she said they send a snail emoji, and when they send that snail emoji, it means like my day is not going the way that I wanted to. Like I'm kind of dealing with some stuff. It's kind of hard, and then everybody knows like, oh, let's go give support and things like that. And I was like, that's dope, man. Like I was like, I gotta steal that from you.
That's a good idea.
Absolutely,
Very good idea.
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like you don't even need to say nothing. She's like, they don't need to type anything. Just send that emoji, and we know. So that's
cool.
really dope. It's really dope.
Yeah.
In terms of yourself, you don't have to go too in depth with this question. You can give a surface level answer if you like. Is there anything that brings you anxiety? And if so, when you feel like you're having an anxious moment or you're feeling anxious, do you do anything to counteract how you're feeling in the moment?
I feel like definitely keeping the positive mindset. I know you can say that, but I just try to keep cool in a situation. I'm kind of like being an introvert in the same way. Around new people, it's very anxiety ridden for me. So I kind of just keep myself calm, positive mindset. Yeah, just kind of think of my calm place.
Absolutely.
At the same time,
Absolutely. One of the things that I learned on the channel was that somebody said this to me. They were a therapist, and they said that the way you should think about situations that like are being presented to you, like if you're somebody who like gets anxious or things like that, if it's not going to impact you 5 years from now, like what are you worried about? So in those situations, because sometimes we focus so much on like I have to make the right decision, I have to do this like this, and it's like not everything requires you to do that. Like sometimes it's just a simple yes or no, like just go on. So I was like, when she said that to me, I was like, that's amazing.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's a great way to think of it.
In terms of yourself, if you could change something about yourself, let's say somebody gave you the power, change something. It doesn't have to be physical. Maybe it's a behavior you have. Is there anything you would change?
Probably the self-confidence in myself.
Okay.
I really don't look at myself too often, or I kind of look down upon myself a lot. So I feel like if I could switch that, it'd be amazing.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. So that would be something. Okay. Yeah. And I think that that's something that's sometimes hard to do. And I think especially for women a lot of times because they like, you guys deal with like the societal pressures, like you got all the models and all this stuff. They look like this, and then sometimes when you feel like, well, I don't look like that. Like how does that work? So it's like I think definitely like what I've heard, self-affirmations, things like that. They tend to like really help with those types of things. Absolutely. Next question. Fill in the blank on this question. Okay. When I think about my feet, I feel
independent.
Independent. Okay.
Yeah, a different way of looking at it, but I feel like
No, that's great.
Yeah.
I like that. And so I'm guessing it's because you can stand on your own 2 feet.
Yeah.
You can do different things,
I
right?
feel like throughout the years, I've definitely grown
Okay.
more independent on myself.
Yeah.
I feel like I can make my own decisions easier
Yeah.
now. So yeah, being able to just like go out and do my own thing, make my own decisions. Stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Especially because like we have this like evolution from being like kids where you're like crawling, then like when you first start walking, somebody has to be there to like kind of hold you
guide
up and
you.
stuff, and you know, even like as you're going through and you get into a teenage, still somebody there to help you. Then kind of when you get to that adult stage, it's like
Yep.
it's on
Bills,
me.
all the responsibilities,
That
all the different
adulting, man.
priorities. Yeah, it gets rough.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: have you ever received compliments from somebody about your feet? Has anybody ever told you they think you have nice feet?
No. They have not.
So let's say hypothetically, you were wearing sandals and somebody did say that to you. How would it make you feel in the moment?
Kind of weird.
Okay.
Only because it is
weird.
like a different body part. Like typically a lot of people don't look down there.
Okay.
But I would take it as a compliment.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
So that was
being
my next
positive.
question, because like, let's say somebody came to you and they said, "Hey, I love your hair, I love your eyes, your smile is like beautiful." Would that feel differently for you? Like you would feel different about that compliment?
I would take it more easier. I think that's more of like it's more I love. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And but compliments are designed to make us feel good, right? They're supposed to be. I think as long as the context is correct, right? So, as long as nobody's like not sitting there drooling and saying all these different things, but just a simple compliment, but hey, I think you have nice feet, and they kept walking, like that would be different.
I would feel good.
What about this? If that compliment came from a man versus if it came from a woman, would you look at it differently?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think because my toes are usually painted, so I feel like women would look at the art.
Okay.
Men, I wouldn't take it hard. I would think it's okay, like it's accepting. But,
Okay. It would just
I would
feel a
find
little
it, a little different.
Okay. That makes
Definitely
sense.
different.
That makes sense. In terms of compliments that you've received throughout your life, right? Is there a certain compliment that you can look back on and you're like, man, when I got that compliment from somebody, it really made my day, it made me feel good?
Definitely the smile.
Okay. I think that's a big one, man. I think because a lot of times we can carry a lot of our, I think, energy through our smiles, right? And it's like it can really like be the difference between whether somebody finds you approachable, non-approachable, like different things, body language, right? Absolutely. How often do you get pedicures?
Pedicures, I do it myself.
You do it yourself?
Yeah, I learned during COVID on how to, you couldn't go out to get it done, so I learned it myself with the gel X or the gel polish at home.
So you're pretty much a professional then?
I wouldn't say professional. I like to do it on myself, but
you know how your friends lining up like do mine too? Like,
yeah, my best friend does.
Okay.
But typically, I like doing it on myself, because I don't like the pressure.
Okay. It's like I gotta get it right.
Perfectly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
In terms of pedicures, have you ever heard of a medical pedicure before? Does that sound familiar? All right, so that's when you go see like a podiatrist, specialist of the foot.
Okay.
What they do is they take a look at your feet to make sure like your toenails grow correctly, your toe alignment is straight. They check your feet for like dead skin, fungus. Do all the work there with like medical grade equipment. It's actually like the cleanest possible pedicure you could get.
Okay.
What would your thoughts be on like doing something that's more like informative about your feet? Like it would tell you like different information as opposed to like a cosmetic one where it's just you're getting your toenails painted and make it look good.
Yeah,
What
if it's for health, definitely for health. I mean, these days health is a priority, so.
Yeah, and what podiatrists say a lot of times is that like people wait till later on in life, like when they have a problem, like you notice a problem is there, right? Exactly, like it's kind of like going to the dentist, right? You've been eating sugar and all this stuff for years, and you've got all these cavities, and it's like there's not a lot we can do. We can only do so much, right? So They say that you should probably try to go see somebody like that, once or twice a year, just to kind of, make sure that everything's good there.
Yeah.
Absolutely. In terms of shoes, how often do you wear like open toe shoes, sandals, flip flops?
I live in like my flip
Is that right?
flops. Yeah, it's only when I go to the gym or like go out to chill, I'm wearing like sneakers.
Yeah.
Or like an Air Force One. So.
No, I feel
Yeah.
it. Absolutely. Well, I mean, because in the gym, I have seen some people. This was like a rare thing for me to see somebody like barefoot lifting weights, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
if a weight falls or something, man, like,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like,
Yeah.
but I have
I've seen it
that.
too. I've seen it too.
Yeah. It's a crazy thing, but I guess whatever floats your boat. Absolutely.
Yeah.
In terms of going barefoot, how often do you do that?
Outside of the house, I don't at all.
Not at all.
Unless I'm at like the beach
Yeah.
or something. But yeah, I always have my feet covered.
What about at a park?
Park? No, I feel like it's too dirty. Yeah.
I'm gonna throw
I'll wear slippers, but I won't go barefoot.
Okay, I'm gonna throw a scenario your way. I want you to just tell me
Okay.
what you would do in this scenario. So you go to the park, brought your blanket with you, got a couple favorite books that you like, couple snacks, under a tree, nice and comfortable, shoes on or shoes off.
If I'm staying on the blanket, I'll have them off.
All right, there it is.
Yeah.
All right. I
But
would
if
imagine-
I'm walking, no, I wouldn't.
Yeah. No, I get it. A lot of people like, hey man, some of these grasses are just like awful. People
Yeah.
walking with
You
their
don't know
dogs.
what's in it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy, absolutely. But have you heard of earthing and grounding before? Are you familiar with that?
No.
Okay, so that's like going barefoot in like grass, dirt, sand. People do it it's like meditatively. Like you could do it as a reason to like help you unclog mental stress. So let's say you had a long day at work. You're like, man, today was just really rough. You can go stand in like your backyard, front yard, in the grass, 10 minutes. Focus on what you're feeling. Focus on like, right now I feel like soft grass. I feel a cool breeze. I'm listening to the birds chirping. And what that's supposed to do is like, it's almost like a reset button. Like you're hitting the reset. Like you're more focused on that now as opposed to what happened before.
Okay.
And so like for me, it's actually something you could do too. Like let's say for me, I have like a lot of anxiety around crowds. Like if it's a big crowd of people. So one of the things that I was suggested to me was do grounding. And so what you do is you focus on what's around you. So like I hear this type of music playing. That store right there is Macy's. Like there's like I smell chocolate chips or whatever it is, and that's supposed to help you like slow down the process of everything.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely. So definitely
That
some
sounds cool.
information for
Yeah,
you there that
that's
could be
some
helpful.
grounding.
Absolutely. So right now in this moment right now, can we see what your feet look like?
I mean, they are painted right now.
Okay.
I actually injured my toe
Okay.
last week, so it all bruised up. So it looks pretty gross right now.
No judgments here. It's just more we're trying to do something here, like in terms of like seeing if you can get out of that comfort zone. Because I know that you're probably like, take your shoes off. But is that something you can do? Because if not, I'm gonna talk about the mental health, and then we can come back around to it.
We can go back around it
Okay,
later.
let's come back around to it. Okay, so
Yeah.
let me tell you about the mental health that got me started. I kind of told you a little bit over there, but exposure therapy, right? It's for people who tend to feel uncomfortable in certain situations or scenarios, right? And so it's all about when you're in a moment and you're presented with something, you tend to want to stay in the comfort zone instead of getting out. And I know it's already like you've already got out of your comfort zone just to sit here, and I feel that. But like what therapists say you do is like if you want to learn to be better at situations where like you get presented with something, do those things. Go out, do it over and over again. What you start to learn in the moment is that even though I'm in this moment, I know I'm gonna feel nervous or whatever it is I might feel, like nothing's gonna hurt me. Like a lot of times we create things in our mind, and until we have evidence that that's something that's gonna happen, it's just your mind creating things. It's not actually a truth. So when I learned about that, I'm like, I'm an overthinker. Like I overthink everything. Like why is this happening? Why should I do this? Should I not do this? And so before I know it, sometimes I overthink myself out of the situation. So I wanted to get better at that. And then I had the idea too. So during quarantine, a lot of women, like foot modeling was a thing, right? I had the idea, my YouTube channel, talking about mental health and seeing if we can practice some of that exposure therapy, like getting out of your comfort zone. I know it's something that's not common. People don't come up to you talking about feet every day and stuff like that. But like, if you notice, our conversation has been going on different topics, right? Do you focus more on that, the fact that I'm having a good time and this has been a good thing? Or do you start to focus on having thoughts in your mind about what's happening here, what is this, and like things like that? Because now you're starting to do some of that same thing that you do when you're in situations and you start to overthink them. So that's what my YouTube channel is about, trying to bring. If you notice the different things we're talking about when we talk about feet, reflexology, we talk about like going out and doing grounding and earthing and things like that. I'm trying to bring out the positivity around feet so that people don't think so negatively. So through my interactions, and if I can get women to be comfortable with that, I'm able to like, you know, have a channel and stuff like that. So what are your thoughts about that? Is that something we can get you to do? Can we get you out of your comfort zone?
I mean, I just came from a cycling class, so I'm like gross, sweaty, and nasty.
Don't
if
worry.
you don't mind, but
there's no judgments here.
Yeah, and it, like I said, it's bruised, so it's a little ugly right now, but
no judgments. No judgments.
I am
We're not
comfortable.
judging. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Can we have you
Yeah.
take your shoes off? Leave your socks on for now.
Okay.
I'm gonna have you put your feet up here. Okay.
Okay.
She's like, I just got out of cycling.
I'm like, I'm like super nasty right now.
I'll just take off both shoes and then just put both feet here.
Okay.
And then, all right, cool. And so first thing we're gonna ask is, first of all, what size shoe do you wear?
6.5.
Does it vary depending on the type of shoe you're wearing?
Yes.
If it's like a heel,
Yeah, heels.
probably like a little bit smaller.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
exactly.
cool. And then if I can tell, your bigger toe is longer than the rest of your toes.
Yes.
Right? You know what that's called?
No.
There's different types of toe alignment. So that toe alignment is called an Egyptian toe alignment, right? If your second toe is longer, it's called an Grecian toe alignment. And then there's some that's called the Roman, and there's a Norwegian, and there's a there's the Oriental. Like there's so many different types of toe alignments. Yeah, absolutely. Cool. All right. So if I can, let me have you do this. Like go straight out, and then toes up. Yeah, there you go. All right, cool. And then now you can take the socks off.
Okay.
All right. And I love the little ankle thing you got going on there.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Cool. All right, and we got white toe, and you did this yourself.
Yeah, but it's not like goodly done. It was just like a rush this weekend because I was going out. But
it looks nice.
No, it doesn't. It does not. I usually do gel. I didn't have time to do gel.
I love the elephant tattoo here that we got. Got an elephant tattoo here, and then I saw another tattoo over here.
Floral, yeah.
That's dope. That's dope.
Thank you.
Love that. Love that. Okay, so let me have you do this again. Feet out straight, and then toes up. All right. So let me ask you this. First, you were like, no. It was kind of hard to just get you to do the interview in the first place.
Yeah.
But then you got into that. First, you said no about this, and then you got into it. What are your thoughts? How are you feeling in the moment?
I'm comfortable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm glad. All right. So let me have you leave your feet up and go with a couple more exercises.
Okay.
So let's talk about reflexology. Okay.
Okay.
Reflexology is all about the different pressure points you have in your hands and your feet. You've heard of that before?
No.
You've never heard of it?
I've never heard. I've heard of like the pressure points, but I've never like gone into like depth of like what each do.
Yeah. So like, there's different pressure points that connect to like different parts of your body, your organs, like just different areas in general, right? So through like, if you go get a massage, if you do acupuncture, if you do acupressure, you can actually like alleviate like stress and tension to those various areas. So let's say you're somebody who deals with migraines, right?
Okay.
There's actually a portion of your hands and feet you can massage that alleviates the tension you feel in those moments, right? It's also a piercing you can get in your ear does the exact same thing.
Okay, I've heard of that one.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it's also, you can do that on your feet. So
Gotcha.
if you understand like the different parts of your body like connect to different organs and stuff, and it can help you in those situations. What are your thoughts about like what reflexology can do? Think it's a good thing, bad thing? How you feel about it?
I think it's a good thing. I mean, if it works, yeah, I might as well go for it. If you're suffering through migraines, like, yeah, I would do anything
Migraines
to get
are
rid
rough,
of.
man.
Yeah. I have a lot of friends that suffer.
Yeah,
from
my
them.
girlfriend deals with them like almost every day, and
Poor thing.
they're bad. Yeah, absolutely. So usually when we get to reflexology, we like to talk about sensitivity. Okay, how ticklish do you tend to be?
I'm sorry?
How ticklish do you tend to be?
I'm very ticklish.
Okay. When
Yeah.
you've gotten pedicures, have you ever wanted to get a pedicure before?
Oh, yeah, I have.
Were you really ticklish?
Yes.
Okay. I have a trick for you. Do you mind if you test it? Not using my hand or anything. I have a tool. Is that okay?
I'm
Huh?
not. No, it's okay.
No, you okay? Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Thank you, though.
And is it because like you don't want to laugh right now, or what is it?
Oh, no, I hate being like tickled.
Okay. But I
That's
do
the
have a trick to
feeling.
deal with that helps you like do it. It's actually something that requires your body. Like you just make movements, and that helps you out in the moment.
No, I think
It's
I'm
always
okay
like
right
to
now. Only
just
because
try
it's injured right now.
Oh, that's why you
So,
did say you had an injury.
Yeah, I
Absolutely.
went through cycling right now, and it was okay, but like I don't want to push it
Okay.
anymore today. Yeah.
Absolutely, you definitely understand.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna get you to do a couple exercises with your feet. This is just
Okay.
to test the dexterity and flexibility you have. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Let me have you legs straight and then toes up. All right. Let me have you do this first. Just bend your toes, make a fist. Tell me if you feel pain or discomfort. Is that easy to do? Hard to do?
Okay, this one
Okay.
hurts a little bit.
Where at? Over
Because
here?
it's broken. Yeah. Well,
Okay.
it's swollen. Right
That's
now.
the one that you
Yeah.
hurt. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Let me have you, relax your feet for a minute, and then let me have you spread your toes so me feel pain or discomfort.
Gotcha.
All right, spread. Okay, cool. And it's a little bit harder to do. Do you ever do any exercises or anything with your feet to like?
No.
Okay.
I did break my leg, so I do ankle exercises.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I do have a trick for you to something that you can do at home. Okay.
Okay.
And then lastly, just wiggle your toes for about 10 seconds. Tell me if you feel pain or discomfort, cramping. Do you feel that same pain over here on the
A
side?
little bit.
A little bit?
Yeah.
A little bit? Okay, so one of the things that you can do, like when you're at home, when you first wake up in the morning, take a golf ball or a tennis ball.
Okay.
You roll your foot across it. What it does is it loosens up muscles in your legs, as well as down your feet that you don't normally use.
Okay.
Then practice some of those movements also at home. So that's something that you can do if you want to like have more flexible feet. Like, 'cause sometimes like with the injury that you just got, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes those things can happen because like you're not as flexible in those areas. So
Gotcha.
absolutely.
Okay.
Cool. You can put your socks and stuff
Okay.
on right real quick. So let me ask you this: like in terms of my approach, when I came up to you,
Yes.
I asked you to do the interview. Did you feel my approach was good? Was it bad? How'd you feel about it?
I mean, it was very random.
Okay,
I would
it
say
was
that.
random.
But you're very friendly, very approachable,
you.
so I was comfortable with it. That's why I agreed to it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. In terms of the interview from start to finish, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you see how everything was going along in the line? Did it make sense? Did you learn anything new from the information?
I definitely learned something new.
Okay.
Grounding is something I'll look into. But yeah, it was all very positive.
Like it.
I did.
Thank you.
I did like it. Yeah. So thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. The last thing I'll ask, I always ask this, something you can say to my channel that can be helpful from like mental health standpoint. Maybe it's something that you've learned in life or wise words that maybe somebody shared with you. Anything that you can say. And don't overthink it. It's just whatever comes to your mind.
Just get it out. Anything you're holding in. For me, I learned that getting it out, just even if you're talking it by yourself
Yeah.
in your car, just getting it out helps a lot.
Yeah.
Just
Talk therapy is a big one.
Yeah.
That's a big one. Yeah.
Being comfortable with yourself.
Yeah.
It's the main part of it. Just
love
getting
that.
out and talking. Yeah.
I love that. Thank you so much. Definitely
Yeah,
appreciate
thank
you
you.
stopping to do this interview with us. All right. And we hope that you have a great one, okay?
Thank you.
All right.